ప్రేమ స్వరూపులారా,
1999 that we had gone to Kodaikanal. After we come back from Kodaikanal, normally it is life as usual. You go and stay in the hostel. Swami will not talk to you, look at you, and you become a normalized human being. You come to the real ground level after being in Kodaikanal Hills for a long time. But that particular year, Swami continued to shower his grace upon us, gave us separate rooms on the Trey side and said, boys, I will call you separately. You can come and, be with me, have lunch with me, or I'll call you for special sessions. And it continued to be. But suddenly one letter came. And the letter came from where? From the principal of the college in Puttaparthi, asking Swami that the research scholars be sent back to Puttaparthi for entrance examination duties. And we thought our honeymoon had ended. Swami called us and said, boys, all the research scholars, please pack up your luggage, go. Your mother-in-law is calling you, you have to go and do examination duty. We said, we held on. Swami, you are our mother, father, guide, guru, everything. Swami, please don't put us in the hands of the mother-in-law. Swami, please keep us here, please keep us here, please keep us here. So with our pleadings and all that, Swami also, put his hand on his face and said, कुछ सोचता है, कुछ सोचता है. Let me think of something. कुछ तरीका निकालना होगा. And then he said, all the research scholars are today onwards on security duty to Swami. And we thought, Swami, what an lame excuse to make. Security duty to Swami. That means what? The Brahmana Nayaka Purnavatar, who's managing the entire galaxies by the wave of his hand, he has to be given security by us, by we mortals. Swami said, don't worry about all that. 2 of the boys sleep in my room, 3 boys outside, remaining boys sleep on the ground floor. Today onwards, I'm sending word through Narsimurti that all of you are on security duty. So you cannot come to Puttaparthi. We said, Swami, great, thank you very much. We have really, this is a great escape. So on the first day, Swami called us, me and one other boy, inside his room at 6 p.m. So we were very excited. We had heard so many stories. We'll see lights, Saptarishis will come, Mother Iswaramma will come, she will distribute gold chains, and probably we also will get something in the process as byproducts. We were all imagining lot of things. At 6 p.m. Swami came. He called us inside. So we closed the door behind us, and there were 2 beddings which were rolled up and kept. He was supposed to unroll them and sleep. Just imagine, at 6:15 every day, actually I go to play for 1.5 hours. But at 6 o'clock in the evening, I'm supposed to go to bed. Now, naturally, there was no sleep. And then so much of excitement about what is going to happen now. What is going to happen? So the entire night, me and my other friend, we were not able to sleep at all. We were just observing Swami. And let me tell you, the next 77 days, I observed this. Swami does not sleep at all. Swami is beyond hunger and sleep. He doesn't require all these 5 elements to be taken care of as we require. Somebody asked Swami, do you take sustenance from the cosmic energy for your 5 elements? Swami said, no, I sustain the 5 elements. What are you talking? I don't need energy from the cosmic energy. I am the cosmic energy. And I sustain 5 elements. You're taking it absolutely wrong. Swami doesn't sleep, but Swami sometimes rinses his mouth and in the night. So the first day after we came out, me and the other boy, we had no sleep at all the entire night. 4 o'clock, Swami clicked his fingers and said, come on, get up and go to your room. So we went to our room. There was no place to sleep. So I found some place on the sofa. And I took somebody else's pillow, now that he was unaware, and I put it on my sofa and I slept. I did not sleep. The moment I put my head on the pillow, I started seeing magnificent, beautiful lights of various hues and colors. Brilliant. One after another, a firecracker show of unprecedented beauty or imagination inside me. It continued for 4 to 5 minutes time. I was amazed. It was not a state of either awakening or sleep. It was something between that. I was not conscious of my surroundings, but I was totally conscious of what's happening inside of me. I saw all these lights, and they subsided after some time. And then I intuitively knew what I was seeing now were my previous lifetimes. My previous lifetime, the way I was, previous to that, previous to that, previous to that. something like 10 to 12 lifetimes in a semicircular fashion, but I could not decipher beyond the third or the fourth lifetime. And I got up. And that very moment, it came to my memory, that particular instance that happened that year in Kodaikanal. That year in Kodaikanal, in 1999, Swami had materialized a clay model of Lord Buddha. And Buddha was keeping his hands on the navel, and there was a pot containing nectar called the Purna Kumbham inside it. And then Swami explained to us the Kundalini process. Swami said how the energy which is there in the base of your spine, from the Mooladhara goes to Swadhisthana, then Manipuraka. Manipuraka, Swami said, is a very important center in your body, which is close to your navel region. Swami said, this is your subconscious mind where the impressions of all your previous lifetimes are stored in subtle form. Unless this Manipurak chakra is pierced and you go above that, you will not be able to live your life in the center of love, that is your heart. You will not be able to reach the center of neck, which is your power. You will not be able to come to terms with the center between your brows, which is the Agya chakra, center of peace, and not be able to realize the center of bliss, which is Sahasrara. Swami said, ultimately, the purpose of human life is to express and experience the Brahmanandam, which is there at the center of your head, on the top of your head. Unless you pierce the Manipurak chakra, below that, actually, you are animal. From the navel region to the heart region, we are human. From the heart region upwards, we become divine. Ultimately, we become one with Brahma. We are able to realize only when we reach and pierce the Sahasrara, the center at the top of the head. At that very moment when I got up and saw my previous lifetimes, I understood very clearly that in the presence of Bhagwan, being in his physical presence that particular night, had taken me beyond the Manipurak chakra. That is why the subtle impressions of all my previous lifetimes are visible to me vividly as I see all of you seated here. This is what Swami is. This is what Swami can grant. This is the value of being in his presence.
Truth is my